Welcome back to the AI era. I'm Juliet.
And I'm Philip. So good to have you all with us today.
Absolutely, Philip. We've got a really packed show for you today, don't we? I mean, we're talking about everything from government strategy for AI.
Yeah, and also some pretty interesting stuff in the creative space, which I'm super excited to get into.
Oh, definitely. And also, some real concerns about AI in banking. So stay tuned for all that and more. It's going to be a good one.
So speaking of government strategy, Juliet, President Trump has unveiled a pretty big plan, right? It's called Winning the Race, America's AI Action Plan.
Yeah, he really has, Philip. It's like a comprehensive strategy, really aiming to solidify the U.S. as the global leader in AI.
And it sounds like it's got, a few key pillars. I was reading up on it, and it really focuses on accelerating innovation, which is, pretty obvious, I guess.
Right. And what I found interesting there is that they're planning to loosen regulations, to really push AI development and exports especially to allies. And, obviously countering China's advancements in AI is a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a huge competitive space. And then another one of those pillars is about building American AI infrastructure. That means big data centers, semiconductor plants, which, wow, that's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, it really is. We're talking about, the actual physical backbone for all this AI tech. And then the third pillar, which I think is pretty crucial, is about leading in international diplomacy and security.
Oh, yeah, that's huge because, if we're developing all this AI, we want to make sure we're also setting the standards globally, right? So American AI technologies, they get adopted worldwide. It just, makes sense.
Totally. And it also touches on some domestic stuff too, which I found interesting. Preventing federal AI funding from going to states with restrictive laws, and also, seeking FCC review of any conflicting state mandates. So it's really quite broad.
So it's not just about, developing the tech, but also the policy around it. Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it really is a lot. And, speaking of things to unpack, it actually makes me think of something else that caught my eye this week. It's about Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI.
Oh, yeah. What's he been up to? He's always got something interesting to say, especially about the future of AI.
Well, he actually raised some pretty serious concerns about the financial industry, particularly how vulnerable it is becoming because of AI's increasing capabilities. He was speaking at a Federal Reserve conference, actually.
Vulnerable how? Is he talking about AI making bad investment decisions or?
No, actually, it's even more, it's more immediate, I think. He highlighted the risks associated with AI's ability to mimic human voices with near perfect accuracy. And this is especially concerning for voice authentication systems that banks use.
Oh, wow. So imagine someone calling your bank and it sounds exactly like you, even though it's an AI. That's terrifying.
Exactly. He really emphasized the urgent need for changes in how individuals and institutions, verify identities, because if we don't, then the potential for fraud, it's just massive. It's a huge, huge problem.
Yeah, you hear about deep fakes for video, but I guess voice is just as, if not more dangerous in certain situations like banking. So he's basically saying we need to rethink our security protocols, especially for voice biometric.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a wake-up call for sure for the entire financial sector, I think, because if AI can perfectly replicate your voice, well, identity theft just got a whole lot scarier.
Wow, identity theft just got a whole lot scarier indeed. It's a sobering thought for sure. But, shifting gears a little bit, speaking of major tech players, Google was also making some waves this week, but in a totally different way.
Oh yeah, Google I/O Connect India, right? That was in Bengaluru. It sounds like they're really, really focusing on empowering Indian developers and startups, which is, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. They showcased a lot of their commitment to the region through various AI-driven initiatives. Like, for instance, they announced localization of data processing for their lightweight Gemini 2.5 Flash model, specifically to, better support Indian users, which I guess makes sense, right? Data residency and all that.
That's smart. And I also saw they're integrating advanced agentic AI tools within Firebase Studio. That's a big deal for developers, isn't it? It kind of streamlines things, helps them build more sophisticated AI apps, I'd imagine.
Yeah, for sure. And not just that, they also unveiled a new training program in partnership with Unity, which is pretty huge for enhancing developer capabilities, giving them the tools and the skills that they need.
Right, and then beyond the tools, it seems they're really getting hands-on with the Indian tech scene too, with those collaborations with 3 Indian startups under the AI mission. That totally aligns with the government's Make in India initiative, which is all about, developing domestic AI solutions.
It's a strategic move, isn't it? Like investing directly in the local ecosystem, fostering homegrown AI innovation. It kind of contrasts a bit with what we were talking about earlier with the US plan, which is more about like global leadership and like export. This feels more about like internal growth and localized development for Google.
Yeah, it's definitely a different approach, but it's good to see, I think, major tech companies investing so deeply in specific regions, especially with AI, because it really needs that local context to thrive.
Yeah, it's definitely a different approach, but it's good to see, I think, major tech companies investing so deeply in specific regions, especially with AI, because it really needs that local context to thrive.
Absolutely. And speaking of thriving or, just generally making a mark, let's pivot to something a little more artistic, shall we? Because AI is also just blowing up in the creative world, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Like, we had AI Da, the humanoid robot artist. I mean, remember that portrait of King Charles III? That was pretty wild. Algorithm King, I think it was called.
Yeah, Algorithm King. It was an oil on canvas, which, somehow makes it feel even more traditional, but it was created using AI algorithms that analyzed a bunch of photos of the king. Like, it was exhibited at the UK mission to the WTO, too. Pretty prestigious.
It sparks such a big discussion, doesn't it, about like the evolving role of AI in the art industry. Like, is it truly art if an AI creates it? Is it the artist behind the AI, or is the AI the artist? My head spins just thinking about it.
Right? It really does. And then not just visual art, but music too. I saw this story about the Velvet Sundown, this indie band that just exploded on Spotify. Over 850,000 listeners in just like a few weeks. That's like crazy numbers.
Yeah, I heard about them. And then, critics started noticing something was a little off. No records of performances. Their promotional images looked fake. And then Deezer's AI detection tool just flagged their music as, get this, 100% AI generated.
100%. And then a spokesperson for the band, I guess, had to admit it was all an art hoax generated using this AI tool called Suno. Wow.
I mean, on one hand, it's a little unsettling, right? Like, you could be listening to something that you think is a human band, and it's just code. But on the other hand, it's also, I don't know, kind of fascinating how good it can get.
It is fascinating. And it really just shows, doesn't it, how quickly AI is just integrating itself into, every single facet of our lives, even the really creative ones. I mean, from government strategies to banking concerns to empowering developers, and now art and music. It's a lot to process, actually.
It really is. Just today, we've talked about the U.S. government's big plan, winning the race, trying to make America the AI leader. And then we had Sam Altman raising those crucial concerns about AI and banking, which, honestly, that's pretty scary stuff with the voice mimicry.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Google's huge push in India, showing how AI is really being localized and empowering developers there. And then, the whole creative side of things. AIDA, Algorithm King, and the Velvet Sundown and their little art hoax.
right? So much happening so fast. It's wild, you know?
It really is. But that's all the time we have for today on the AI era. Thank you so much for joining us, Philip. This was a really insightful discussion.
Always a pleasure, Julia. Great chatting with you about all this.
And thank you to all of you, our listeners, for tuning in. We really appreciate you joining us for this roundup of the latest in AI news. We'll be back soon with more fascinating insights into the world of artificial intelligence. Until next time.